What's up, YouTube? Came across this video of a single mom who was able to retire at the age of 49. We're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to chime in.
My name is Jackie Cummings. I became financially independent at 46, and I retired early at 49. I grew up in a small town in South Carolina, and in a place where there were only two-lane highways. And I was raised by a single dad with 6 kids. Like, I don't even know how he did it. He always worked so hard, but we still live paycheck to paycheck, and we're basically in poverty. Growing up around that type of scarcity, it made me not want that when I got older and when I had kids. Remember when you were here for your prom and there was that little piglet?
Yeah. Yeah, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. Everyone had them all lined up.
I was married for about 10 years and ended up getting a divorce from my husband. This was a devastating moment because all of a sudden I was becoming a single mom and my life was changing. And probably my biggest financial inflection point was that I only had $20,000 in my 401k. And my husband made about the same salary, and we had a similar 401k match. And in his retirement account, his 401k, he had 120,000. I didn't know what I had done wrong, where he had so much more than me, but I vowed at that point to learn about money, to learn about investing, and to learn about finances. Hey guys. And one of the first things that I did is I joined an investment club. Was there any one stock that got really hit hard?
SDNY, I think.
Oh, really? I mean, Apple got hit hard, but then I feel like the last week, Apple was only down like 1%. I always like to look at how resilient some of these stocks are, when the market is in a downturn. Being in the investment club, I wasn't scared of the stock market anymore. It wasn't this big, complicated thing that I thought I could never understand. So I started maxing out my 401k at work. I started maxing out my IRA. I started maxing out my health savings account, which I invested in. I started taking advantage of every single account that I possibly could. My main goal was to provide security for myself and my daughter. That was the main thing. Hi, how are you guys? Is Amber already here? So what are you going to do to him today?
I'm doing this right now.
Ooh, you're going to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. There's this great conference coming up called Economy, M-E at the end, and they invited me to speak and to share what I've learned with a huge audience. I mean, Economy is going to be the first time that I get to publicly talk about retiring early. I'm going to feel a little vulnerable, but I figure, you know what, since it's all about financial literacy, it's like that's kind of like my little extra push to say, do it. I worked for Lexnexis for 20 years. My pay was variable because I was in sales. So if I had a really good year, it was maybe in the 90s. A tough year was maybe 65,000. I was doing really great with maxing out my accounts, but I kind of wanted more. And I came across FIRE and retiring early. And I kept digging until I was convinced that, wow, I think that's possible. And I sat down and I did my first net worth statement. One of the things I'm going to talk about in my economy talk is net worth and how important it is to track that. This was July 2013, and it was a little over 500,000. But as you can see, there was kind of some bumps, some peaks and valleys in there. And finally, November 20th, 2017, I hit my FI number, 25 times my expenses. It was 1.1 million. I hit my FIRE number at age 46. Even though financially I had reached the number I needed, I just wasn't quite ready to retire. I did that in order to give myself time to design what I wanted my life to look like after I retired early. And most of that was around financial literacy. So let's look at your 529 and see what you're invested in there.
Well, I'll tell you.
So you're doing great. Your balance is. You are. She's so young. How many more years does she have until?
She hasn't started kindergarten yet, so.
Yeah, you're looking at 15 years.
13?
And she's so smart. She'll probably get a scholarship or something.
I'm hoping for that.
I finally retired early in 2019, and it was a really big deal. It feels like it just happened yesterday. King of the world! Now that I've retired, I am focusing my life on financial education. I think back to how I grew up in poverty, where I had this amazing, hardworking dad that taught me some great lessons, but I wish that I could have learned more. I wish financial literacy would be taught in all 50 states, in all high schools throughout the country. So I have a dream of creating a financially literate society.
Our next speaker is an amazing woman who just retired last December. So please help me welcome to the stage Jackie Cummings.
I just want to say how tired I am about the topic of money being so taboo. Today, I want to throw the taboo of talking about money out the window. And I'm going to be unveiling my numbers behind firing. Is that okay? My very favorite thing I love doing since I retired is spending time with my daughter. She's this poised, beautiful young lady that I get to watch become an adult. And I am so thrilled by some of the money lessons that actually stuck with her.
So there you have it, Jackie Cummings-Kowski. I hope I said it right. Was able to accumulate a net worth of well over $1 million. She was able to retire, and all this started was through her divorce. And from that, she learned to discipline herself, to live on $45,000 a year, and just invested her money. And now she's retired and has a net worth well over $1 million. So, this is Millionaire. Great story. Hope I can bring more videos like this. In the meantime, see you on the next video. Yay, yay.